Imagine being 16 years old, at one of the biggest clubs in England. Comfortable, respected, and already seen as a future star. You train at one of the best academies in Europe. Your family is settled. Your teammates are your friends. Your path feels secure. And then, you decide to walk away from all of it. You leave the Premier League spotlight, move to a country where you don't even fully speak the language, and gamble your entire future on an idea only you believe in. This is not a story about talent alone. It's a story about vision, risk, and betting on yourself when the safe option is right in front of you. This is how Jamal Musiala rejected Chelsea and built his own legacy. Before the headlines, before the trophies, before the global recognition, Jamal Musiala was just another gifted teenager at Cobham. Chelsea's academy is one of the most competitive environments in world football. Every training session feels like an audition. Every game is filled with future professionals. Musiala was surrounded by elite prospects, players like Levi Colwill, Tino Livramento, and others who were all fighting for the same dream. He wasn't struggling. He wasn't overlooked. In fact, he was thriving. But there was something he noticed early, something most young players ignore. Chelsea produced talent, but rarely protected pathways. Year after year, gifted players were loaned out, then loaned again, then sold, often without ever truly belonging. It wasn't failure, but it wasn't freedom either. It was comfort, with a ceiling made of glass. Musiala could see it. At Chelsea, development didn't guarantee opportunity. Talent didn't equal trust, and patience often ran out before belief arrived. He wasn't trapped, but he could see the cage forming. And then, Bayern Munich called. The offer from Bayern didn't come with guarantees. It came with risk. Different country, different culture, different language. No Premier League hype, no familiar environment, no safety net. But Bayern offered something Chelsea couldn't promise. A clearer path. At Bayern, youth development wasn't perfect, but when players were ready, they played. The club believed in timing, not just investment. For Musiala, this wasn't about money. It was about trajectory. At Chelsea, he would wait. At Bayern, he would be tested. And sometimes, being tested is the fastest way to grow. There was also something deeper behind the move. Roots. Musiala was born in Stuttgart. Germany wasn't foreign, it was familiar. And at the same time, football was changing. Brexit was quietly rewriting the rules. Movement between England and Europe was becoming complicated. Opportunities that once felt open were starting to close. For Musiala, this wasn't just a move. It was timing. Now or never. Stay and risk becoming another name in the loan system. Leave and risk everything. He chose the harder road. But the gamble didn't pay off immediately. There was no red carpet, no instant promotion, no special treatment. At Bayern, Musiala had to start again. Under 17s, under 19s, training sessions where physicality mattered, matches where intelligence had to survive pressure. He was talented, but still light, still growing, still adjusting. The Bundesliga is unforgiving to teenagers. Strength matters. Durability matters. Musiala had to rebuild his body, add muscle, adapt to speed, and learn to protect himself on the ball. Progress was quiet, intentional, patient, and this is where many young players break. Because development doesn't feel glamorous. It feels lonely. But Musiala stayed. Then came the moment that changed everything. June 2020. At just 17 years and 115 days, Jamal Musiala became Bayern Munich's youngest ever Bundesliga player. Not a cameo, not a token appearance. A statement. The gamble had opened a door, and he walked through it. Shortly after, another decision arrived. England or Germany? Comfort or clarity? He chose Germany, not because it was easy, but because it felt right. It defined his identity and closed the chapter forever. No turning back. But legacy isn't built on debuts. It's built in moments. And Musiala's moment arrived when everything was on the line. Final day of the 2023 Bundesliga season. Bayern chasing the title. Dortmund leading. Time running out. Then, the 89th minute. The ball falls to Musiala. One touch. Control. Finish. Goal. Title secured. In that moment, he wasn't a prospect. He wasn't a project. He was decisive. The kid who left comfort. Delivered under pressure. That's when the story changed. Musiala didn't just reject Chelsea. He rejected the safe route. He rejected comfort without certainty. He rejected waiting without purpose. Instead, he chose risk, clarity, and responsibility. And football rewarded courage. This isn't a lesson about leaving clubs. It's a lesson about understanding systems, about seeing ceilings before they stop you, about knowing when growth requires discomfort. Because sometimes, the scariest decision is the one that sets you free. So now the question is yours. Do you think Chelsea made a mistake letting him go? Or was this destiny shaped by choice? Let me know in the comments. And subscribe for more stories about football decisions that changed history.